So many years ago, we got together and we got some games clubs and some some of the computer game design people I was working with and so on. We decided to do these big games of paintball. Now, one of the people from my war games and role-playing game club, he actually worked for the Board of Gas and Explosives, of which more later. Board of Gas and Explosives, his particular section was essentially bomb disposal. He was an ATO with the bomb disposal people. Handled a lot of other problems, but there was a big property which used to be a explosives testing ground and was still had a explosives magazine out the back. It was kind of run by that department, had a magnificent old house on it, but essentially the house had to be occupied by someone from the department because, you know, there were dangerous materials and so on there. So this guy got this amazing house rent-free from the department. So that's where we would meet for war games. There was like a huge room that was just permanently set up for miniatures tables. There was another room which was just permanently set up for role-playing games. He had a room set up as a library. He had another room set up purely as his storage room for model kits and modeling equipment, but he had another room for actually sitting around and assembling the stuff in. It's like gamer heaven. But here's this massive, like, it was an 80-acre property, I think. It just went for miles and miles and miles. And as part of this whole weird World War II thing, yes, there were the demi-lunes, these kind of C-shaped hills that you would detonate stuff with the open end of the sea kind of facing out towards the ocean, which, you know, this thing also bordered on the ocean, for God's sakes. But there was like a train station built here on this property with lengths of train track. There was like a small kind of model village. They were like small houses. They were just like 1 or 2 rooms, but, you know, they had roofs and everything set up as a village, which had been used for some sort of training exercises. There were sections of road and car park and so on, which had been just set in the middle of the wilderness. It was a really funky place. But this is where we went to play paintball. Now, Australia, so back then and indeed now, paintball guns were illegal. You have to have like permits to have these things, and well, no, we didn't have the permits. But cattle marking stuff is everywhere, the cattle marking pellets. So you could fire the cattle marking pellets either from a slingshot, pull it back and ping, or a blowpipe. Now, the slingshots were really, really amazingly long-ranged, but not very accurate. Very hard to actually hit anything with because, you know, slight variances on where you anchor it and whatever, you know, unless you're an expert, you don't hit much. The blowpipes were incredibly accurate and quite fast to reload, but short-ranged. And you could get them prone to jams if you kept blowing on them and got the inside of the tube all moist. The pellets could, if you loaded a pellet and the tube was moist and you run around, you don't fire, the pellet can stick. So anyway, but off we went and played these things, and we turned up on one of these days, and some guys had turned up from like one of these martial arts ninja schools and all the ninja outfits. All right, so first scenario, I'm kind of the umpire for some of these, so it's like, all right, so we'll be doing this and this and this and this and this. The ninjas, they run off into the wilderness. Now, these ninja never appeared in any of the games we played. They didn't pop out from behind anywhere. They didn't shoot anywhere. They just ran out into the sodding wilderness. This property, by the way, just bordered like national park and things, so it's like they gone. That evening, as the sun's going down, and this is because it's like tall grassy kind of area bordering the sea. 500 billion mosquitoes, like, oh, sun's going down, you know, so the air's just black with these things. So we're all standing on top of the cars, beeping the horns, trying to call out for the ninja. Guys, we are going. We're all meeting. There's like a pub and a thing down the road. Everyone's going down there. Pizza, pub. Beep, beep, beep. Guys, it is over. It is nighttime. Their car's still there. They can't have left. All right, guys, we're leaving. Just head down the road to the first crossroads, go left, and there's a pub if you want to find us. As far as I know, these guys are still out there. It's like, we never saw them again. But in we go, playing this thing. Now, you must remember these people playing were all war gamers, role-playing gamers, and so on. So nutcases. Everyone's brought their own cool stuff. So at one point, one bunch of guys, they've decided, yes, we want to do an attack. We want to do an attack through the smoke. The World War II players and the modern players we wish to be the Russians attacking through the smoke. Fantastic. But what they've got is marker smoke, and it's purple marker smoke. And what they didn't know is that the purple marker smoke was mostly used for seagoing flares. So these guys like, good, right, so we want to lay down smoke so we can cross this big open field area and get into these woods, and fantastic. So they threw all these things, great masses of bluey purple smoke. Oh, so these guys have been running around all day and are now covered in sweat. Yes, quick, through the smoke. Once we've got thick enough cover so no one can hit us. And, oh, yes, guys on the other side are firing, getting nowhere near them because these guys go through the smoke. The blue coloration of the smoke has now stuck to these people. The sweat on their bodies has basically welded this, and it died. It like died probably about the first 3 layers of skin. So, pour some water from their drink bottles and scrub themselves. Didn't come off. Soap and water didn't come off. These guys are smurfed. They're basically blue from then on, and it took days to wear off. So that was great. Ian Malcolm, of whom I've spoken, a brilliant guy, brilliant game designer, fantastic writer. But as it turns out, he had also been like a serious kind of junior archery champion as a kid and continued being a competition level archer. So it's like, as far as the slingshots go, yeah, this guy's like a sniper. He would just pull this thing all the way back, and at unbelievable distances, he would like, people would be on the other side of a football field, and he'd like, oh yeah, pull this thing back, wind's about this much, so he'd shift it there. It's slightly thick, heavy air, so up about 4 degrees, fire, and you'd see these balls arc up into the air. He's firing nowhere near the guy, caught by the wind, drift in, and someone like 300 yards away suddenly hit on the side of the head, turn around, you what? Holy cow, man. Another one of my friends is probably watching. Hi. He decided to make, he wanted to make a pump action blowpipe. So he's made like a tube magazine, and it's got like a sleeve joint on it that has a hole, and there's a hole in the main pipe. And his idea is he fills the one with balls, and he cranks this thing back. A ball drops down into the pipe. He cranks it forward, and now the hole from the magazine is sealed, and he can blow. So he can go blow, clack, clack, blow, clack, clack, blow. That was his idea. But what he found was if he just pulled this thing back, and he just took a huge breath and went blew, as each ball left, another one would fall down. So it would just empty the magazine. So I got a submachine gun. Then you'd have to like, laboriously reload the magazine. But I got a submachine gun. Fantastic. And I came out from umpiring at one stage and joined in the scenarios, and it was just brilliant because we also allowed rolled up newspaper swords. You can only have 12 sheets of newspaper, and they're rolled, and the end is turned around into a knuckle guard, so they're relatively short. You can't really hurt anyone. Everyone's got headgear of some sort. But if you're so you could do this as well. But oh my God, I've borrowed someone's blowpipe, and yes, what I hadn't realized is, my God, they've got it wet and sticky. So I put a ball in it, and I can see my friend who's like, having the time of his life finding these bushes. Good. So I get around the bushes and, jam. I got a jam. This isn't going, and I need a long stick or something to click. Oh, it's not going to work because this guy's like now reloading the magazine. And he's fired off a huge row of shots, and he's laughing. So, oh shit, he's going to see me any moment because he's like slowly turning as he's just putting these things in. So I like rampaged across this open ground, banzai, banzai, with this rolled up newspaper sword. And it was one of those moments when all time slows down because he turned and saw me. So, and to make his pump action thing works, after he puts the balls in, he's got to put a cork in the top of the magazine to complete the air seal. So he like, pulls up this cork, and I like literally jumped. So I'm leaping in the air, with this sword. So this guy flings himself backwards, manages to give himself like the extra 2 feet he needs so I don't like bang him with the sword. He just put his hand over the end, I think, to complete the seal rather than put the cork in, and just blew. And so, but he landed flat on his back, and I literally flew over the top of him. And as he did, he opened and fired. It was just the best kill ever, because he's got like 20 of these balls in this thing, and he blows them all out. And as I fly over the top of him, they go dud 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 the whole way down, like, you know, forehead to crotch. And these are cattle marking balls, so they're really big. So it's like, bleh, and it just sawed me completely in half. Best kill ever. We're absolutely dying with laughter after that thing. Oh my god. We did like a Zulu Wars scenario or whatever, where we said, good, we get a whole bunch of guys, and you guys have you've got the weapons, you've got the blowpipe weapons. Everyone else, what you've got is melee weapons, and these guys can have they can have newspaper bayonets on the end of their blowpipes, but we get cardboard shields. But if your shield is hit by paintballs, you're dead. Okay, and that was fantastic. These guys are like, yes, we're going to form a firing line and hold off this mighty Zulu swarm. So all we did was, there was a young game designer from Beam Software at the time, Justin. So I just leaned over to him and said, look, here's our plan. Here's our plan. As the mighty Zulus, we don't care about anyone except Justin. So wherever he is in the line, everyone fix their lines and just scream his name, Justin, and go straight for Justin. Not for the rest of the load, just scream Justin and go for Justin. That is our mission. And it actually works brilliantly, because like this huge, you know, shield wall comes raging towards these guys who are, they're all ready to do the great British shield wall with Justin in the middle there, and suddenly all the Malay guys just all scream, Justin, and come raging for this kid. Whoa, whoa, ah! And he immediately broke and fled, because like the whole line's channeled at him. And the guys beside him turned around to go, huh? When the guy next to him turned and fled. And that was the time they needed to do the shot. So the Zulus are on those guys in a nanosecond. And the moment there's a hole in the middle of the line, it's just, it's like just horrifying. These guys are like, just kill the beast, stab it dead. Oh my god. And Justin was still out there running. He's just gone. There's another guy who had a great tactic. He decided that all these paintball weapons are quite slow. You have to give them a lot of windage. So he just attacked at a dead run. It was Neil, my snub-bodied fighter guy. But he was about, 4 foot nothing, and the grass was about 4.5 foot tall in some places. So there'd be people like having to patrol through this area, and suddenly you hear, tick, 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 tick. What was that noise? What was that noise? It's something running. And suddenly this guy was basically attacking like Messerschmitts coming out of the sun. Suddenly, as the grass would burst, Neil, who's got a blowpipe, pew, 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 pew. He'd do these dive through you. Quick! You always got to attack the low right bomber and peel off. And someone shot him. Quick fire! And there'd be these pellets missing the guy like miles as he was going at a really fast sprint and varying his movement as he went. No one's getting on. He's back in the grass to these people. Oh my god! Quick! It's coming back! Quick! Back to back! Everyone back to back! We don't know where he's going from. He'd be running round and round them in a circle. He just had so much energy. And suddenly, burst off the ground. Great tactics. We did there was another thing on this property. There was a kind of a fort. There was a raised section of hill which had giant sunk concrete pipes under the ground. They were big enough to way big enough to crouch in. I'd say like 4.5 feet diameter, sunk under the ground, and they had shafts going, probably about 10 feet down to them. But these things opened onto firing positions that actually had they were bunkers. They had like firing slots looking out, different fields of fire. Another one of these training things. So I was umpiring. I organised a big scenario where you leapt in, and we said, all right, let's put like because we had like 30-40 people playing this thing. So I was like, let's put about 10 people in here, maybe a dozen, because there's a few different slots, and everyone else will be the attackers, and that should be slightly more than 3-1 odds, so that should be pretty even. Fantastic. And yes, the guys on the attacking squad came out with many complaints, because they kind of like were crouching around and sniping, and the guys inside the firing positions were firing out from the machine gun slots and getting them, and these guys couldn't get them. And there were water balloons which you could use, which were grenades and lots of stuff, and it's like, okay, no, these guys aren't getting anywhere. And they kind of eventually they took so many casualties that the attackers just couldn't close. So they got, this is impossible. This can't be done. This can't be done. So, oh, of course it can be done. So, oh yeah, show us. So I had a piece of scrim netting that I was just using as a scarf because, you know, I'm kind of lily white. You can see I'm a bit red there from being out in the sun today, because my people are designed for attacking seals in locks somewhere north of the Orkneys. So fine, I just kind of toss this thing around my head, instant Arab headdress, and just, right, anyone that wants to defend, in you go. Anyone who wants to, guys who are inside, with me, we're the attackers. So this time, I've got I think I've only got a dozen people, and this trench system, or this underground tunnel system, this mighty Maginot Line, about 30 people went in there, and yes, the other team said it was horrifying, says it actually felt like being in a real war. You know, I'm the wargamer, and definitely an assault infantryman was in fact my job in the Army Reserve. And also a bit of an asshole. So yes, I just grabbed these people. Right, what we're going to do is no one stops, no one moves. Who's our sniper guy? Good. We're going to attack that point there. Sniper guy, you are just to fire at the main machine gun split. Everyone else, just follow me. No one stops to fire. No one stops to fire. No one helps the wounded. Follow me. Once we're in, odd numbers go left, even numbers go right. We just worked the tunnels, and yes, it was great. We ran. They got off like one or two shots at us as we closed, and then we're up on the hill, and they can't get to us. And the manhole covers come off. Down go the water balloon grenades. Jump in there. And it wasn't even, we didn't even fire. We had rolled up newspapers and water balloons. You down in the, drop down the tunnels, water balloon ahead of you, run forward, stab. Oh my God, the guys in there can just hear like screaming come behind them. By the time they turn around, there's like people in amongst the water balloon. Stab, quick, move on to the next one, stab. Oh God, that was a hilarious day. Bear in mind that a large number of these people are also, you know, blue Smurfs by this period. So yes, paintball, way more fun when it's not guns, because people take the guns seriously. Wacky terrain really makes it. We had bamboo groves. You could do anything, particularly with the smoke. Purple haze, man, purple haze. Everyone gets to do their apocalypse now. What a day. I wonder if those ninjas are still there. Anyway, to those who survived the day, ding!